An interview with Mary Todd Lincoln by Laura Delgadillo and Tara Mahoney.
Hello, Mary Todd Lincoln. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. So I wanted to start this interview by asking you when and where were you born?
I was born on December 13, 1818, in Lexington, Kentucky. I came from a wealthy family, thus I did not have the need to work.
So, I heard you went to Shelby Female Academy. What did you learn there?
Well, I went there from 1826 to 1832, so for 6 years I studied grammar, geography, arithmetic, poetry, and literature. I also learned to write and speak French, penmanship, dancing, and singing.
Since you already told us you did not need to work, did you have any interest in working?
I did some promoting for my husband's political career before he was elected president because my father had a close friendship to the Kentucky leader, so I developed a peculiar interest for politics and political issues.
What was your relationship like with President Lincoln?
We dated for a while but broke up because of family differences. But love kept us together, so we dated again and saw each other secretly. Later, we engaged and married in the year of 1842. We married at the Globe Tavern in Springfield, and by 1844, we purchased our first and only home together. We had 4 sons, Robert, Edward, William, who we called Willie, and Thomas, Tab.
What was it like for you to be the First Lady?
It was difficult for me to deal with the press about my clothes and thoughts, but I enjoyed giving speeches about political views. I dealt with much debt from buying expensive things my husband couldn't afford. I also dealt with the controversy stating that I had traded sides during the war since I was originally from the South, but my husband and I supported the Union.
During the time of his presidency, the Civil War took place. How do you feel about this issue? Do you support the issue of slavery?
I supported my husband throughout the war, regardless of where I was from. I didn't like wars, but I supported the soldiers who fought for the Union. Although I was raised on slavery, I thought the issue was unacceptable and needed to be stopped. The African Americans were treated cruelly, and I believe they should be freed.
Do you have any experiences from the war that you would like to share?
I worked as a volunteer nurse in the Union Hospital and offered my intelligence and advice to the President on military personnel.
What do you miss about life without the war?
I miss how before the war, I was focused more on my home and doing chores around my house, or my family, and raising my children. There wasn't as much stress in my life before, and I miss knowing that in my mind.
What do you see in the future of our nation?
I think that the future of the country depends on how we continue to live in it. I think that someday African Americans will live in our nation freely. I think they will live among us as citizens of these people.
How do you think the Civil War will change you and this country?
I think this war will change the country by freeing the slaves. I think they will gain respect and live among us as equals. It will change me and my life forever after having to endure the stress and pressures of the war.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
After the assassination of her husband, Mary Todd Lincoln suffered through Great Depression and was ruled insane and was committed to an asylum in 1875 after she attempted suicide on the night of the judge's verdict. She died on July 16, 1882, in Springfield, Illinois, and was buried wearing her wedding ring inscribed A.L. to Mary November 4th, 1842. Love is eternal.